accept what you said. Yes, up to you.
But
No, not but.
There's just a few
not
things.
everything. What are they going to ask for us? Okay, for car industry, 100% for sure. Whatever they're going to talking to us, we'll accept him. No damage we don't have. Okay, we have damage for the protection for rice. Okay, rice is no free for tariff. Japanese rice production will go down to zero. American rice cost is very cheap. So this kind of issues they understand. This is very risky Trump cannot negotiate kind of issue. Okay, but many cases it's okay. We just abolish everything else. Car industry, no protection.
right,
Japan.
so that what does that mean? For example,
because Japan is car manufacturing very strong. Okay,
right.
performance, quality, and price is very strong.
But you know what it means? Like basically, we need to abolish the
Think about
the
that.
rates
What kind of offer they're going to for us? Think about that. What kind of offer they're going to ask for us?
What do you mean?
Any kind of offer if they're going to ask us, we can accept everything. They're going to pay money? No, they don't do that, right?
Yeah, but they also demand that we abolish the
no problem.
the price advantage on a mini car.
No problem. Abolish
Yeah.
mini car? No, we don't accept.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay, why not? Why not? We accept everything. That's
No,
what you just said.
Ordinary people reject it.
Yeah, okay, but that means that you cannot accept Trump's.
No, cannot. We cannot.
Yeah, but Uno-san, now you're contradicting yourself.
Okay, I tell you, fairness.
Why?
This is not fair.
No, Trump says it's not fair that you are protecting your car industry.
No protection. This is our country people,
Listen, that's what he's asking.
Our country is not like your country.
But that's what he's asking.
Okay, this is negotiation, right? Whatever he's asking about, reject it. No problem. This is right wing. Strong person say some cases no.
Okay.
He is okay, emotional, not logical. If you're going to speak at 100%, 100 big voice, but they never accept. Okay, he's going to retreat. In the NAFTA negotiation.
So I'm glad that you say that we don't agree to everything, because I would definitely not agree with.
Yeah, he is the kind of person is woman. Okay. She speaks out the emotional way. Okay, we're going to respond the emotional way. No logical, no rational. Don't misunderstand. This is negotiation, right?
Right. So we don't give in to everything. We are
Exactly.
negotiating.
That's right.
We are negotiating. That's the same thing as I said.
So I just told you, back to the basic. We don't give them answer textbook way. Just different by case, right?
Of course.
So this is
but you are saying the same thing as Trudeau is saying.
My message. This is not logical.
This is the
emotional. Okay. So today is finished.
Just a moment. Edo-san.
Hi.
According to the Edo-san today's presentation, I got one idea. Essential of the European thinking framework is deduction.
Yes.
And deduction could make hypothesis thinking that makes a vision, policy, and grand strategy. That is a advantage of the Westerners.
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
I think so, because this is actually if you want to actually win a negotiation or an argument or anything against the European, if you can basically show the flaws in somebody's reasoning, deduction, based on the premises, then you win the argument. If you can show that there is a logical fallacy in somebody's deduction, somebody's logics, always European people hate to be inconsequent or hate to bring a fallacy or a logical fallacy into their argumentation. If you can show it, you will win. the reality is that usually the deduction is not the problem. The premises are the problem. So the premises you can disagree. Because you say, well, my view is not that there is unfair, there is an unfair trade relation in the car industry between Japan and the United States. That is my view. That's a premise. But if you once you put the premises in, every European should basically be capable of deriving from that the way that you frame your the problem, then basically logically derives to a conclusion. So the key in negotiating with the Westerner is to actually make very sure that you frame the negotiation in a way that you want it to go, because that's going to be very important for the outcome. But yeah, I think it's definitely an advantage for Europeans, and they are not aware of it. So if you are going to meet Europeans in a negotiation, they think that you think exactly the same way, and that everybody in the world thinks the same way, because that's logical, atarimai, because they never thought different. They never realized that there is a different way of thinking. I remember my wife said to me when a long time ago, she said, well, you're right and you're not right. Huh? Either I'm right, so I'm right or I'm wrong. I'm not right or I'm not right. But basically, I'm right because of the way that I framed the problem. And then based the way that I framed the problem and then derived to the conclusion, then I say, okay, so logically it's true. So I'm right. But again, Uno-san,
Yeah.
you need to find more. But what she meant is that there's a different way of looking at this. And if you look at it from my perspective, the way that I frame this, I'm not right. So for me, that was eye-opening, because that's the first time I realized that there is a different way of thinking. It's not necessarily better or worse. It's just people have a different approach towards how they see the reality and how they kind of understand what is true and what is not true. So when I became aware of, but really, I never realized that people could have a different way of thinking. I thought that there's just one way of thinking, and there's just different capacity in how good people are at thinking, how good they are at creating the model and deriving or arriving at a certain conclusion. But there's actually different kinds of way, and I don't think many people in the world are aware that there are other people who think differently from themselves. They have different way that the chemistry works inside their brain.
Finished.
No, more 5 minutes.
No. Finished. How to stop the recording?
Did you finish Did you finish the explanation for gap for Kimoto?
No. We actually did not finish another gap in individual.
Why don't you explain for that? Trump said.
Trump は関係ないです。
He just car for the.
There's nothing to do with it. So individualism versus conformism, eccentricity, even it's acceptable. Somebody to stand out is acceptable in Europe. It's not frowned upon. Managers versus influencers, and I think in the past we talked about this, the role of colonialism versus and the way to control people. Right, European culture is more about managing, controlling people, where in Japan it's more about influencing. pre-meetings, not somebody from the top making a decision, but it's basically a way that we all influence each other and then try to put everything together and come to a shared conclusion. That's different from the manager who says, okay, this is our conclusion, and that's just it. So I'm the manager, I'm the CEO, so I decide. Impatient Europeans can be very impatient versus patience in Japan. Explicit. One thing in the Netherlands. One thing in the Netherlands is that we want to make everything, and really everything, anything, should be debatable, discussable. We can discuss. We can put it in the open. And we need to make it concrete. So there needs to be a conclusion. It needs to be yes or no, or at least something needs to come out of it. That can be very uncomfortable for Japanese people who are more implicit. They read the air. Now, if there's something we cannot do is reading the air. Another difference is a language difference. We have a Latin-based language, which gives us a very big advantage when it comes to engaging in international relations, because it's just easier for us to pick up than for Japanese.